Okay. All right, let's do it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What's Changed in the Balance Patch. I don't know if I'm going to call it that, but we'll have to wait and see. Probably not. Scarlet and Geras, it's their turn. Scarlet has had not a huge amount of changes, but a little bit of what seems to be like quality of life adjustments. Dagger Dance, Amplified, Crushing Blow, Held Check input is now the correct button. I can only assume it was the wrong one before. Normally when you have an amplified move, that requires you to Crushing Blow, hold the button, and on Amplified only, it's usually the Amplify button you have to do, which I can only imagine wasn't the case for her. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know this was a thing before, but at the very least, it's consistent. So if I make him... I'm going to do it. Or is it? Hang on. Am I doing this wrong? Amplified Dagger Dance. Oh wait, third parry in a match. I'm actually being dumb. Yeah, I'm very silly and forgot about Crushing Blow requirements. Let me do this now. Yep, you have to hold the amplify button to do it now. I wanted to double check that before I did it because I didn't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. I probably should have checked it beforehand, but don't worry, we'll continue. We'll go on with it. Nothing happened. You guys saw it. Fundamentally, the important information was delivered. Back 4. 5 less recovery frames, so that's overall just a bit more reliable now. The sweep is a better spacing tool. You're not going to die as easily for it. And it's a good sweep, though. Look at the range is kind of wild. Down 1 has 3 more frames of hit stun, which, again, like every other character, I'm sure means that she can do down 1 into, yep, down 1, standing 1, down 1, standing 1, which for her is pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad. Down 3 has a different hit reaction and 11 more frames of hit stun. So her down 3 is, again, much better. Down 3, standing 1. Down 3. I can't imagine standing 2. It does. Down 3 into standing 2. Which means on block, you can do, like... On hit, you obviously get the full launch. And on block, you get that. So that's really cool. I know her down 3 was whack before, so that's really nice to see. Down 4 has 11 more frames of hit stun, so her down 4 is better as well. So you see this, right? I'm actually going to make him jump as well, just to make sure he can't jump out of this. Oh! So you get a down 4, and you get a standing 4. If you get a little micro dash first. And on block, that's going to be... On hit, that's going to be a combo. And on block, that's going to give you mad plus frames. That's pretty good. Fixed. Let me go to the rest. Is he still jumping? Yep. Make him not do that. Fixed Thicker Than Water, which is back 1, 2. Crushing Blow not working correctly with easy crushing blows in practice mode. Well, that's a thing. Bloodport Far has 50 recovery frames, not 42. So one of the teleports we've seen hit the hardest in terms of recovery by 8 frames. Doesn't sound like much, but for a teleport like this, that's pretty considerable. And that's, believe it or not, that's actually it for Scarlet. So honestly, just quality of life improvements. Being able to get more from all of her down pokes when you've got buttons like her, when she is as important of a character at that kind of mid-range as she is, combined with less recovery on some important buttons. Decent changes, honestly. Nothing too crazy. She was definitely a solid character before and will continue to be so now, especially with some of the stronger characters taking some nerfs. I think this will help her quite a lot. Now, Geras. Let's talk about the man of the hour, or the 10,000th hour, 11th hour, whatever. You know what I'm saying. He's been nerfed in quite a few ways. But honestly, a lot of Geras players don't seem to mind, because it looks like the thing about Geras is you had to have taken away everything in order to make him unviable. He had too much ever to not be a good character, and I feel like this patch is kind of proving that. Let's talk about it. So, forward 1, grab 4, and this is actually a big thing. Crushing Blow requirements are pretty much all different, with the exception of 1 or 2. Forward 1, grab 4. Crushing Blow requirement has been changed to triggers if the opponent is near the wall. So this used to be counter hit. Now the opponent has to be near the wall. So if we go right. Right. So if your opponent is cornered, let's double check that. Let's do position, distance, close. Yeah. So if your opponent is in the corner, this will crushing blow. So you throw them out of the corner, but for 29% unbreakable damage. Let's see just how close they have to be. Yeah, they have to be pretty much right up against it for this to work. Just short, just short. About sweep distance or beyond, pretty much, for this one. Quicksand crushing blow requirement. Change to triggers if the attack has missed twice in a row. Which means that you have to miss this twice, and then it will crushing blow. For the same damage. So near enough 32%, close enough. This means you have to be tactical about this now. If you find yourself full screen, because think about it again. Especially if someone like Scarlet is throwing projectiles at you, you're still going to be harassing them with this. And every time this hit normally, it's going to be doing 145 damage into Oki. Which, again, is very scary. Considering Geras, his throws are the same, his damage is pretty much untouched. And there has been a change, not listed for him, because it's not him specific, but we're talking about how these hit regions have been adjusted. The hit region of 4-2-1 has been made more consistent, that he now always does this. He always universally gets a temporal advantage amplify stun on every character in the game off of every 4-2-1. Previously, this would whiff against anyone less than a normal character size, so all the females that it whiff against. He can now do this every time against everyone. Which is partly why so many people are saying that Geras arguably got better, because now we've seen how much you can do with a charged gauntlet. Being able to hit 4-2-1 into this means you get to do this, into this again. I mean, if I just maybe not mess this up for my point, that would be wonderful. So you get 3 charges. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I missed it again. But the fact remains is, we've all seen the Geras players do this, right? They've charged the gauntlet, done this, dashed in, down 3, down 3, advantage, into whatever you want, right? Into mix-ups, into unbreakable damage. That's the big thing about the charged gauntlet. Unbreakable damage. So yeah, if you want to get the crushing blow on this, you have to whiff it twice first, which from full screen, I mean, it's not got the slowest recovery in the game, so it's not beyond the worst. It literally just go like 1, 2. Okay, now every time I hit it, it's going to work, which also means that you can now do something like this. So it now means you get to combo a crushing blow for more damage than it was before, so long as you've whiffed them. If you've whiffed them and you remember that, that's huge. But it also means, let me show you this for a second. Let's go whiff. Let's make you block, stance, hold. And I hope this doesn't work. I really hope this doesn't work. Oh. I actually didn't know that worked before I started recording. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. But have no fear, because they've slowed down 1-1-1. 1-1-1 is now fuzzyable. It is without end, front punch, front punch, front punch. Startup is 21 frames, not 17. Which means that now you can fuzzy the overhead. However, if you're not fuzzying it and you screw it up, you will get crushing blowed if they have it ready to rock. And this is my advice to everyone out there. For the love of God, if you lab anything from this patch, lab this. Lab this. Because if you don't and the overhead hits, you're going to get crushing blowed. And if they have the sand trap stocked and you block it, and you don't fuzzy and you just guess either way, and you get hit by the low, you'll get crushing blowed as well. You must learn how to fuzzy and react to the overhead. They've slowed it down specifically so you can do that, so please do that. Gauntlet of Ages Crushing Blow now has 4 frames more of recovery, which means that all those big corner combos that were doing like a billion damage, no longer going to be able to happen. So if you have this Crushing Blow locked and loaded, 1, 2, 3, used to be able to combo a down 1, now you cannot. They've added enough recovery, so you cannot get a combo from that anymore. So that is purely used for charging up your moves or cashing out for a big unbreakable Crushing Blow. Quicksand is no longer be able to be performed while they're stunned by temporal advantage. So you might have thought, why not just stun them with this and then just whiff loads of sand traps? You can't. The move physically will not come out, so you have to do it properly. Fixed a rare issue with a shoulder charge, which is forward 1. Collision being offset after hitting a cross-up body splash. I saw that. You could sometimes hit this and it'd go the wrong way, which sucked. That shouldn't have existed. Fixed a bug that when winning around the first hit of quicksand, there could be a few frames of projectile immunity in the next round, and fixed an issue with sand trap which allowed players to crushing blow held check on to store the crushing blow for future use if they hit an opponent blocking high. Again, I'd never heard about that, so I'm happy whatever that was doesn't exist. But the short of it for Geras is he is still terrifying, but he's less cheap is the big thing. He is still fundamentally a solid as a rock character, but you have to be careful. You can still crushing blow counter hit forward 2-2, so this was still crushing blow counter hit. You can still store this and look to hit confirm crushing blow for massive damage. You can still whiff these and then again use it for combos unbreakable. So if you want unbreakable crushing blow damage, I mean I did it wrong, but you can still do that. Yep. You can still save, you can play around your crushing blows if you work for them a little bit harder. And that's pretty much how that one works. This crushing blow still exists, but you can now fuzzy this. So the cheapness of the mix-up from this has been taken away. You can react to it. You just have to be on point. You have to. Because he will still crushing blow if he hits just that. So if he hits just that, it's still going to crushing blow. You just have more counterplay to it. And that was the big thing about Geras. There was little counterplay to his cheapness. He now is still cheap because he can still store this and go for all the craziness that we've been seeing. But again, you know, the less ability to just get hit by random crushing blows, he has to work at them a bit harder, has definitely changed him in the right ways. However, this change has made him so much better across the board. Because everyone will now have to deal with that. And that also means that New Era gets it too. So I feel like Infinite Warden definitely still has a place. New Era now has more options thanks to the temporal advantage hitting everyone. But yeah, I definitely think Geras is still going to be top 5. I don't see how he's going to be anything less than top tier still with what he can do. But I think he was nerfed in the right ways. I never want a character to be completely destroyed. And I think that he definitely hasn't been. He's still very good. But the cheapness has been taken down a notch. And I really like that. But that's it for these two characters. That's pretty much everything I have to talk about for these two. Let's deal with what I think might be the last pair, unless my counting is off.